Sometimes the best thoughts can come from accidents. I talked with Jeremy Sink about going around the Commonwealth. Well, Jeremy Sink coached with this guy, Jeff Woody. Jeff Woody's been around too. So I decided to play kind of the name game, a little word association, whatever you want to call it. I just named a name, and Jeff Woody went. Sports Buffet Podcast, Jeff Woody talking about some names from the past on the Sports Buffet.
First name I'm going to throw, Bunker Hill.
They need a statue of Bunker Hill up in front of this stadium. And I want them to also include me holding his hand. Because that dude's a legend. He started it all.
Driver's ed, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
My dad went here for a while. And I remember my dad when he was live and other people telling me, Bunker Hill probably taught half the city of Lynchburg how to drive.
He should be a mayor. He should be the mayor.
Did you really know Jimmy Bryan, the former mayor of Lynchburg?
I shook his hand once. Yeah.
EC Glass legend.
Yeah. And who? Bradford. I shook his hand once too.
EC Glass legend.
Yeah. No, he was the mayor.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Just the legend. I won that award, the Hall of Fame Jimmy Bryan Coach of the Year award, and that was 2008. Thank you, Logan Thomas, and that great group of kids that I had to coach that year. But yeah, you gotta respect your elders.
Yep.
And he's one of those legends.
Yep.
Bunker Hill, the same way.
Lynchburg legend in my eyes,
Yes,
big
sir.
time. And I'll tell you another legend. This is branching out a little bit, and he was here for a bit. Eddie Martin.
Oh,
He
he
was
went
the
to
coach at GW for a long
gosh,
time.
there's stories to tell about him. I didn't know him at all.
Because he's before. I'm a kid. You and I are the same age,
Mm.
so we're kids, not together, but watching Friday Football Extra
Mm.
at different locales. And I remember it was always GW
Mhm.
against EC Glass,
Mhm.
Eddie Martin against Bo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and Eddie had fire,
Yeah,
and so did Bo.
Yeah, Bo was he was like a cowboy. He
Right.
was Western. He was old school and had it set up, surrounded, and he got he knew the equation and he just filled in the numbers. And every year, I mean,
When did you get to know Bo?
when I first took the job?
Okay, at Glass.
Yeah, I shook Bo's hand a
Right.
couple of times, but
You
through
and I have
Bobby.
both been around here
Yeah.
all of our lives for
I
the most
guess I
part.
got to know him through Bobby Johnson.
Mhm.
And Bo would come and watch some games at Brookfield when Bobby was coaching, and he'd be in the end zone, and I'd walk through, and he'd always get me confused with Mike Christ, and he thought, "How's your dad doing?" I was like, "He's up there watching." He thought I was talking about Dave Christ, and
Right.
but no, that's not my dad. But Bo would come by, and I'd ask him to come by and speak to the kids at Glass, and he's tradition, and he's legend, and when Bo shows up, it's Daddy Bo. It's the coaches on staff that played for him would stop, go up and give him a hug, and he would speak to the kids. And I would say that my style is kind of like Bo's.
Yeah.
I mean, you read the moment and you handle it as it is at that point in time. It's not proactive. It's right on time. It's not reactive, but yet you're going to be reactive with your coaching staff so that you are proactive when the next situation like that occurs.
I think I've interviewed Bo once or twice in my life, and Bo would say, "I'm over there." People are like, "What are you doing?" And Bo's like, "I'm signing autographs before the game." So Bo kind of struck me as like, that class clown from the way he describes it.
Yeah.
But gosh, football wise, I mean, those kids, you talk about running through the wall.
Yep. They would do everything for Daddy Bo. And that's kind of the way I want to be. I want them to know that I respect them and they respect me and we're on the same team. Now, granted, there is a fine line. I'm the coach, but I'm somebody that you can talk to.
Jim Worley.
Rest in peace. He's a father figure to me. And I remember after graduation at Hampton, he called me the next Monday. Graduation was on Sunday. He called me Monday. He said, "Get up here." "Yes, sir." He said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir, coach." And I go, I came up here and he's like, "Here's what I want. You're going to teach world history next year and you're going to coach. Go talk to Bobby Johnson." Okay. And he was drill sergeant. I mean, he was Cool Hand Luke. He was a John Wayne type guy. You respected him when he came. You stiffened up and you acted like you had some sense and you were professional. But when it was just you and him, him and I drove to a couple of Hampton Sydney games together, just him and I. And I get fatherly, if you will, is what I would say, and protective, and a good judgment of character of anybody. He knew what was up, and he was very helpful to me when I was first getting out of that nest and flying and being a head coach and being a teacher. And he looked after me a lot. He helped me a lot, fatherly.
Bobby Johnson.
Wisdom. He's a people person too. He could handle the situation right there on the spot and be politically correct with it at the same time, straight and narrow, and this is what I expect with it. Very adjustable. He could adjust to any situation. Great coach. Put the right players in the right place, and was very intense when the game got here. But when it was time to, when we were watching film, he was in tune, he was focused, but he was also laid back. But as Friday got here, it was now, we got work to do. We got a game to win. And everybody was sharing the same positive intensity that he had.
Mark Linenberg.
He's my brother. He's my brother. Same thing, helpful. He asks a lot of questions, not just to me, but to everybody. And he collects that information and he puts forth the product. And he's leaned on me a lot. I've leaned on him a lot. We go way back in the day. I wouldn't want to play for any other coach than any of those dudes, to be real. But Linenberg and I have the tightest bond.
Dennis Carter.
He's one of, other than you, the best two interviewers I've ever had have been Dennis and you.
He's a goat.
Oh, absolutely.
I
love Dennis, in his boat. I miss him. He brought a lot to Lynchburg, and the smile on his face and the classiness of him, and the way he would ask questions and the way he would make student athletes look good. He would always set them up for success with the questions that he asked, and he was patient and helpful in that regard.
Brad Bradley, your Jug Bowl compatriot for a while.
He's a competitor. He's the most competitive person that I've ever been around my entire life, and he brings the best set of. If you play him, you better pack a lunch. If you play for him, you better pack a lunch. And Brad's he's a legend. He's a truth too. He's going to go down in the history books as one of the GOATs.
Jamar Lovelace.
It started off as me helping him, and it's now it's equal.
What'd you learn from him?
Strength, presence, style, swag. Say no. He's strong with his beliefs, and if he doesn't believe that's going to work, no, and move on to the next one. Whereas sometimes Jeff Woody will be like, okay, let me think about it. He's like, no. He's strong with his beliefs, and he's a motivator. He's in tune with his players. I mean, he's got a finger on the pulse always, and he's not going to take any crap. Know that. If you do it right, and he's going to make sure that you're taken care of. If you're politicking, hit the road, Jack.
Scott Abel.
Man, he's the first. He's the GOAT. I mean, you got legendary coaches that have come through the Seminole District, but he's the first one that kind of turned it up, brought a brand new offense, brought a brand new defense, and had some great athletes out there in Amherst. And he got them up ranked in the top 50 in the nation one year. We beat him that year at Brookfield.
I've heard that story several times from you. Well, even before that, he's at Liberty, because I guess you're playing.
He changed it at Liberty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I mean he revolutionized the game, and with the offense that he's running, it's different than the offense that I run. But he, with the option, and it's quarterback giving, pulling, pitching. At Rice, he's still doing the same thing. It looks kind of like Air Force, or it looks like Navy.
More than one way to skin a cat, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I hope I revolutionized it a little bit with throwing the ball all over the yard type deal.
I'm going to go with some other people I know that you coached against in the old Seminole. Chris Watts.
Grandpa. And I don't mean that in the fact that he's old, but that he's a John Wayne as well. He's cool hand Luke. Now he'll bristle and fight for his kids, but he's classy.
Yes, you coached against Sharnes some in the early times, and he's in the same county as you at one point.
Yeah, I'm scared of Sharnes. His presence. I mean, it's good. I'm not saying scared, but in a bad way. I'm just respectful, scared. Like that guy has been around the block and he knows good football. And Alta Vista, Rustburg, Liberty, he's always been a solid force wherever he's been. And when you see him, you shake his hand with a solid grip, and you yes sir him.
I remember we talked about him earlier when Don Rice was coaching at JF. JF and Brookville, big rivalry, but you and Don seem more alike than different, if that makes sense.
Don will talk crap in your face, and he'll talk crap to your face, and very confident, hardworking. He's confident because he's gone around. He's gone the extra mile, you know, and he. When I played against him, I was motivated to beat him. Just like when you play any of these guys, I was motivated to beat Bradley. You respect Bradley, I respect Don, but I wanted to beat him, and that's the best compliment I can give Don. He knows his stuff. He's knocked down, drag out, snot-nosed, dirty football. I mean, like he wants to get in the dirt. He wants to play in the mud. I'd rather play on turf. That's the difference. I'm more of
I don't want to say you're a pretty boy.
Yeah, pretty
you
boy.
have that mindset to where you're talking about Don Rice. It's almost like he's got that mindset of a lineman.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing out of you.
Yeah, he's a hog in regards to like old school
right.
NFL Redskins lineman.
Right.
He's one of the hogs.
Who is maybe one of the tougher players you played with? I don't care what sport it was, because you played 3 sports, if I'm not mistaken. We've never even talked about your wrestling standout.
I don't know. Edwin Brown.
What made Edwin Brown so tough?
His life, how he grew up. I mean, he didn't have a mother or a father. He was in high school, and he worked. I think he worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken. He would get off. He would go home. He would take care of his grandfather. And 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and he'd get up and come to school and do well and get good grades and come to practice and be one of the best on the field, most reliable player on the field, and then go to work and then take care of home and come back and do it again. And then this guy had a child at a young age and was a father by himself and not stay at home, but an independent individual. Mom was around, but he was the main caregiver and doing all of that. I mean, I've never seen a man at that age, 17, 18 years old, and has so many responsibilities and still kick rear end to take names. He's one of my. He spoke at my wedding. He's one of my best friends.
We talked about him ad nauseum, and we make fun of him for being old Larry Kidd. You talk about how much you've learned from Larry Kidd. He's
an uncle. I would call him my uncle. And
sorry to hear that, Larry.
No, he was. You know how that old story about the bull. And he's a young bull and the old bull and the one bull that's been around the block and the young bull that hadn't been around the block and the young bull wants to go out and do this, that, and the other. And the old bull, Larry Kidd, hold on, son. Slow down. We're going to handle this. We're going to walk down and we're going to handle this together as opposed to sprinting down and working not intelligently. Larry was very slow and smart with how he approached serious too. But joking too. I mean, he could like when it was time to go, he was ears back and ready to ride. But anytime that there was the ability to lay back and chill, he's the one you want to hang with because he could make light of it. He would have a good time and have a good conversation. But it would get serious, and he would be serious. And it was time to chill. It was time to chill, and I followed him with that. He's a leader. He's somebody that's influenced me a lot in my coaching career. That's the truth. You crashed the interview with Alyssa, of course. Do you see a lot of
well, she's a kid, but now she's amazed. Do you see a lot of Larry in her?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. She don't take no crap neither, but she has a good rapport. She has good relationships with her players. And when it's time to go, she's serious as all get out, and she's fine tuned. Um, what I mean by fine tuned, she knows what she's doing. She's organized, and yet when it's time to relax, she's cool with it.
In all seriousness, I don't think a lot of people at Larry's point in life would necessarily be out there coaching. Now, maybe you have fun with it too, but I would think JT is going to be learning a lot from Larry too.
Absolutely. And he played for Coach Kidd. I mean, right. Coach Kidd was on the defensive and offensive line back in the day, and JT's a quality dude, and JT's one of those guys that you've got to not represent, but you've got to recognize truth where it is. You got to recognize an athlete. You got to recognize the want to. You got to recognize the intelligence. And JT had that as a player. Larry saw it. I saw it. And if he wanted to be a head coach, you knew that he was going to be successful.
You coached JT all years?
Mm-hmm.
He told me a story about Liz Frank injury. I want to say it was his last year, breaking
all that ligament in his foot. Yeah.
What do you remember about it?
Well, his first game of the year, he said, I forgot who we were playing. Might have been Turner Ashby.
I remember him telling me that William and Mary came to recruit him, and he could just see the look in the William and Mary coach's face when JT's on crutches. The guy's face goes like it just drops.
You're not supposed to. It's like an ACL tear. You're not supposed to be able to come back to that. From that, I forgot. We had a really good trainer at the time, and he made a brace that went around the foot, and it kept it stabilized because that Liz Frank would allow the toes to split as opposed to stay put and tight together. And so they would fly apart, but that brace kept them toes, I don't know what frigidies, that's Latin. Yeah, look that up.
Was it Coach Brandon Davis that was his trainer?
Davis, thank you. Yeah, it was Davis that made that. And he wasn't supposed to play. He came back, and we made it to state semifinals. Logan was a junior. JT was a senior. And you know what? JT, through having back, he also got sick. What is it called when your liver swells?
I don't know. I haven't had that yet.
No, I mean like you get sick. Is it like mono? It's mono.
Okay.
Yeah, he got mono. And Davis hooked him up with a brace around his midsection, and he went out there and he played against Richlands. That was when we were in the middle of nowhere. Open mouth insert, but so yeah, he ran the country mile to get to where he is now. He went through hell and back, and I'd go down the back alley with him in the middle of the night anytime. He's trustworthy.
I asked him if that Liz Frank was almost more like plantar fasciitis, because when you have plantar fasciitis, it's like walking on a Lego.
Oh yeah,
your bottom of your feet are so.
I don't know. I've never had it.
It's like, oh gosh, but when you have plantar, it's like walking on glass.
Never had either one.
Even a trip from your desk to the whiteboard up there
will have you sweating.
No, I mean it's just uncomfortable. It's like totally uncomfortable to where Woody might, walk 3 steps and just like.
Yeah, well, I walk 3 steps now and fall.
Different. You brought it up. You talked about these coaches, like when you played Richlands. You didn't play Richlands all the time, but Greg Mance. You didn't play Northside all the time, but Bert Torrance. Did you get to develop any type of
Oh yeah, we would
go
we go to a coaches conference and we would hang out. Mance, his nickname is Mance in his pants.
I remember.
Yeah, but Mance has got a smile on his face. He's a silent assassin. He's gonna smile at you and quality guy. And
who you played for in high school?
Wallace White, no?
Steve Ragsdale.
Oh, Ragsdale. Okay.
You would just think by osmosis, Mance is gonna learn something.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to knock Mance, but I mean
Mance was a pioneer to the spread offense. They were running the spread at a high quality level before anybody else was. And he had good athletes down there in Richlands. He had it going down there. And it seemed like every state semifinals, it would be Brookville versus Richlands. And we had a tight one the first time in 2007. They beat us 20-13 or 21-13. And then we beat the brakes off of them the next year. And then the next year, they beat the hell out of us.
And I remember they beat Liberty one year up at Richland. Going to Richlands, I'm not going to use the term hostile environment, but it's a hike.
Yeah, well, it's a hike, and you got to pack a lunch
Right.
too. I mean, it's like they're a good football team,
Mhm.
and they've got quality support, and that's the hostile environment that I was referring to. I mean, they're going to be packed out, and you're going to be over here like, oh, where's my fan base? And their fan base is going.
And you're not seeing the spread like you see it maybe once or twice
Not the way
around
they
here,
ran it,
but
I
not
mean,
like
they
that.
were no huddle spread. It was great. I mean, like, I got to do that, and I had it in my mind, and thanks to Coach Favret. And then as soon as Logan left in 2010, I just let it rip, and we started throwing that thing all over the place.
Bert, kind of one of those guys that would just.
Bert's intimidating force, but yet he's a good old boy. He'll relate with you and talk with you and keep it real with you and ask you questions. And as a coach, he wants to know. As a coach, I want to know, and we're bouncing off, each other in regards to how do you do this and how do you do that. But you don't let him know everything, and he don't let you know everything. But it's like a Bradley. His kids will play for him. They all, everywhere he's been, his kids will have confidence when they walk on the field and have a good game plan. And athletes with a good game plan and tough and physical, yeah, you're going to have to get yourself ready to go when you go to Northside or Rustburg when he was there too.
Anyone else you guys played a bit that you, or even maybe didn't play, that you developed a relationship with coaching-wise through clinics and whatnot that we haven't named?
Chris Jones.
Okay.
Remember him? Heritage.
Yep.
It was early. I hung out with him a little bit, and I respected him, and I think he saw some youth and some energy in me, and we would have good conversations about, like, I would say, ideas and what's your game plan and what's your philosophy on this and how do you run this play and things like that. And he was more interested in the spread. I was more interested in how he ran his inside, kind of like Abel a little bit with his double dive and offense that would take advantage of good athletes at quarterback and running back, and he could throw the ball too. He was always he was a sneakster with his play calls. He had always something up his sleeve. He had one more in his back pocket. In other words, like if he's got a deck of cards, he always has that last spade that he's going to throw down and get you.
These interviews are designed for people to give opinions and praise, and Jeff Woody gave a lot of that. I was a student manager when I was in high school, so for me, it's more like I've heard of these people, but getting to know people is so well. And I knew Jeff Woody before. I'm not saying that, but like if you ask me some names from the past, I know who they were. I know they were really good, but I may not know everybody. Jeff Woody knows people in a different way than Bob Alvis might know them, and Jeff Woody gave his opinion on so many guys. You'll continue to hear more of these on the Sports Buffet. If there's anybody you specifically want to hear, shoot me an email, shoot me a text. I'm not hard to get in touch with. Facebook, the Sports Buffet Podcast as well. For the Sports Buffet Podcast, this is Bob Alvis.